Hi, I'm Jacqueline Zimmerman, and I represent the 98th District.
I'm Representative Tiffany Price, District 26, South Kansas City.
Hi, I'm Doug Clemens, District 72 from Northwest St. Louis County. Today, we're answering your questions.
This one comes from Matt Dressner. When will someone write a bill to eliminate sales tax on food? Missouri is one of 11 states that actually has a sales tax on groceries. I know our neighbors in Kansas do not. They passed that legislation a few years ago.
This year, there were both Democrats and Republicans who filed bills seeking to eliminate the sales tax on food in Missouri. I myself filed a bill, House Bill 872, that sought to eliminate the food tax. Unfortunately, the Republican majority sets the agenda on what bills are actually heard and taken up during the session. And this year, they decided not to take up any of the bills that were filed seeking to eliminate the sales tax in Missouri.
This one comes from Patty Lynn. Patty is asking, what is the state of Missouri doing to prepare for the federal funding shortfalls that are impacting programs for vulnerable populations? The proposed cuts to OAA, that's the Older Americans Act, will have a devastating effect on the aging population. Well, Patty, I've got to tell you, Missouri's been facing a budget shortfall coming up for some time. The Democratic Party has, for most of that time, been encouraging us to hold our revenue line instead of giving continual tax cuts, mostly for the wealthy. We haven't seen the bottom line affect our middle class and working class folks for some time. However, this session, in the face of all these federal cuts, we're actually talking about getting rid of our corporate gains tax, lowering our property taxes, and removing income taxes in brackets that will only affect people with an income of $1 million a year or higher. Well, that doesn't seem fair to me. I'm shouldering the bill and you're shouldering the bill for all of these programs. And we know that the federal government's portion of our budget, which is about 38 to 45%, is just going to possibly disappear or be gutted. This is not a time to be playing games with our incoming revenue. That's not responsible government. And that's what Democrats are fighting for every day, is to just simply pay the bills.
This one is from Laura Burkhart, and she asked, I'm worried about their mental health seriously. They work in such a toxic environment. How can we help them push through these last few weeks? The way that I go about this job or this position or my service is I pray. I always try to take time for myself to make sure that I can reset. I try not to take any of the things home with me, because down here is way more intense, and I don't want to take that back home to my community, because when I want to go home, I want it to be peaceful for my family and for my constituents. I don't want them to be burdened with what I came down here to fight for. So I try to leave all of that here.
The next question comes from Lois Belzer. Is there anything else that we citizens can do? Yes, there's always more ways to get engaged in politics in Missouri. The first thing I would say is maybe to get involved in your local Democratic Party. Secondly, I think paying attention to what's going on in Jefferson City by either following the House websites, signing up for the Capitol Report that your representative puts out to make sure that you know what's going on. Then you can always call and email your representative or your senators and let them know your opinions on different legislation that's passing through the House. I think the most important thing is just to stay engaged with what's happening in Jefferson City. There's always things going on. It's important that you stay on top of what's going on so that you can give your input to the correct people to let them know your opinions on things.